Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast. Chad Hyams here, Bob Stewart over there. Bob Stewart, how are you doing today?
Chad, I'm fantastic. I could not be more excited. Thanksgiving is on our horizon, although when they hear this, it will be in the rearview mirror. Yes. I'm hungry. I want some turkey, some gravy, all the stuff.
I didn't ask you this. We did discuss food. We did have a whole episode about it, folks. If you missed it, jump back. I'm guessing, unless Dave's dropping him out of order on us. Does your gravy get on everything? Like, are you no, my gravy goes on the turkey, or I make the little lava volcano and it goes on the mashed potato. But like, what if it gets on the stuffing or dressing, whatever you have, what's the gravy?
So my gravy is, here's what I would say. I like it contained. So I'm definitely like, I'll put it over the top of my turkey. I'm put the spoon in the middle of the mashed potatoes so it creates the bowl and gravy in there. I'm okay with gravy touching the other things, but I want to control the quantities of the gravy touching the other things. So I'm a little bit particular in that regard. I'm not just drizzling gravy all over everything, but I like to have that bowl kind of, start to eat off the side. It starts to drip out a little bit. Now I'm like, all right, I'm going to use a little bit of this on my next bite of stuffing or whatever. I'm not a huge stuffing fan, although my father-in-law makes a really yummy stuffing.
Is it truly stuffing or is it dressing? The difference, of course, stuffing goes in the bird.
Yeah.
Dressing is made on the side. Does he put it in the bird?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it comes out of the bird. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's stuffing. Yeah.
I've had so many people who I didn't realize did not know the difference. Right? They just say, no, in the South, we call it dressing. No.
I was just trying to think. Here's the thing. I'm so distracted when he brings the turkey out of the oven because he puts bacon strips on top of the turkey. And so I think, if my memory serves me correct, I don't know what else is going on in the rest of the house while I'm positioning and blocking out everybody else to get the most pieces of bacon I can get my hands on. So I think during that period where I'm blocking everybody out and eating bacon as fast as possible, that he is removing the stuffing from the bird. So, okay. But again, I'm so focused on the bacon. I don't know what else is happening in the rest of the house.
God bless everybody in that house with you. I wish you all good luck getting your bacon this Thanksgiving around Bob Stewart. All right. Bob, let's not get caught too much on the gravy conversation. Although, audience, let us know. Does your gravy touch everything? Touch nothing?
What are you? Which way do you go?
I got no problem. Gravy everywhere. Gravy can have free reign, right? Everything tastes better with gravy.
I am a believer that I would eat my shoe if you just put gravy on it. So, like, I love but I do want to control the levels of gravy. I believe there is an optimal level of gravy with a given thing that you're.
I think you're right. The gravy gets poured on the turkey, drizzled all over the mashed potatoes, and a little bit on the dressing, which is what we have. Yet if it starts flowing, I got no problem getting the green beans in the gravy. And
I'm exact opposite. I'm a drizzle the turkey, put that little dish on the mashed potatoes, and just it's a lot of gravy.
You keep going to get it. You go, okay, got it. The volcano at Bob's house.
The volcano, you got it.
All right, Bob. Let's jump into this week. We talked about eating for energy. So it had me thinking about that mental clarity that comes from energy versus the mental clutter that often goes on in our brain. And that's what I really wanted to be able to talk about this week, because it's an evergreen episode. And for anybody who doesn't know the term, right, you should be creating evergreen content in your business. That's stuff that you could listen to at any time and it would be applicable. Because this is at every time. Yet, boy, right now is really kind of a refocus, reset time because we see the end of the calendar year. Yet, if you're listening to this episode in March, just think the end of quarter one, right?
By the way, though, like this time of year, Chad, not only is it like kind of setting up for next year and closing up the business that it's also has a lot of extra like kind of mental energy needed this time of year, right? It's the holidays and it's the shopping and gifts and it's planning, whose house are we going to for the things. And there's so this time of year is even more so, I think, where, the clutter can start to show up in your brain.
Yeah. This time and summertime, I almost put together in that sense because the kids are out of school if you have kids, right? So you've got to now figure out, how do I juggle my normal life while also dealing with my kids who are around all the time? You're right. We've got a lot of parties to go to or picnics to attend, things like that are going on with the holidays or the summer break, vacations, all those things. Absolutely, Bob. There's always usually clutter going on in our brains, and clarity should be the goal. Okay.
The funny thing is, I'm looking around my desk right now, Chad, and it's
cluttered?
like, yeah, it's cluttered right now. Now, I tend to be somebody that like, it gets to a certain point and I'm like, okay, enough. And it goes all, I fix everything, everything's perfect. And I go all the way back to zero, but I'll let it kind of build. But the physical clutter is really easy to spot because it's there and you see it with your eyes and your wife reminds you of it, or right. But the mental clutter, that stuff's happening all the time. And a lot of times, unless we recognize it, it can really be destructive.
So, Bob, give me a few things. What mental clutter actually is, as you're talking about it there. Give me a few lead-ins, a few things that might be happening that are creating those.
Yeah. I mean, so open loops, Chad, like decisions that haven't been made that I've pushed off, or I know I should. By the way, another one is hidden shoulds. That thing that I should have got done. I should have called them back. I should have picked up the thing that my wife asked for. I should have done the project last weekend. But those open loops and hidden shoulds, I think, have a big kind of overlap, right? Where it's like, man, oh yeah, I still need to finish that. My wife is like, she operates at a really high level. We've talked about her a lot over the years on the podcast.
Yep.
She is somebody that is every single day out to close the loops. Like, it's almost her operating system is, I got to get this closed. This has got to get taken care of. And, early on in our relationship, I would always be like,
whatever.
Yeah. Like that thing that we're not doing that for 3 weeks. Like, why? And one day she sat me down and she was like, listen, you need to understand our brains work a little bit different. And we all have open loops, by the way. She just, they take up all the space in her brain until she gets them closed, and she's one of these people that she's highly organized. And so she's always knows what those open loops are. And she's always looking to close them.
Yeah.
So that's one. A lot of mental clutter is because we have these open loops, these things that we have to continue to think about because we've never made a decision or we've never done that thing, which again leads into the hidden shoulds. I should have already done that.
Yeah, Bob, how many times have you had a conversation with someone and then later you're still having that conversation even though you're alone, saying, oh, I should have said this, and oh, I could have said that, and oh, here would have been a better answer when they said such and such to me. How many times is that just still going in? That's just clutter now. The conversation's over. You just haven't processed that the conversation ended yet, and you're letting it still run, replay, give you scenarios, right? You've got these loops. You've talked about the open tasks that are not being done. Residual emotional damage that's come from stress or conflicts that's going on. Bob, these are all creating, as we were saying, mental clutter, which is causing the problems we're having a lot of time.
Yeah. Unfinished tasks, just like the task list, the things, again, maybe those are hidden shoulds, right? I got this task list. I should have done them already. I haven't. Like, I think, look, and my wife and I joke about this all the time because she is a multitasker, but the reality is that when she's closing the loops, she's focused on that one thing and she kind of goes into like, let's just finish this and get it done and out of here. But multitasking, there's this, I don't know, this invisible weight, Chad, because you feel like you got all these things going on, but mental clutter's, it's everywhere.
Yes.
It really is everywhere. And it's in a lot of the patterns that a lot of us have used over the years as like survival tools, right? Like I don't have to make a decision on that. Let me just kick that down the road. And sometimes, like, Ben's a big proponent sometimes of kicking decisions down the road. But I think that he also,
Bob, he's closed the loop by kicking that decision down the road. So that's
what I was just going to say. Like, he's not kicking it down the road and then thinking about it for the next 3 months. He literally is like, boom, the decision is, I'll think about that again in 3 months, right? Like, so he is closing the loop there for sure.
We'll revisit that later is different than, I'm not ready to make a decision. Let me just push it off and push it off and push it off. One is a decision. one is not. The American Psychology Association says that mental clutter increases your stress hormone by up to 33%. Bob, how many of you, audience and Bob, like to be more stressed? Right? Nobody likes to be
I
more
shook my
stressed.
head no. They can't see that, Chad, but it was a shake back and forth.
Nobody wants to be more stressed, Bob Stewart. Some people say, well, I can handle it. I don't deal with stress. I don't get stressed. The people who don't have stress don't have mental clutter. They have true clarity. They understand.
Let me ask you a question, because I think this is a good, like, if I'm sitting in the car right now driving to the office and I want something to think about here for just a second. I'll ask you, Chad. What's that one open loop that is hijacking your brain most often? And let's say right now, because this thing changes from week to week or month to month. Okay,
I can give you two loops that are running in my head right now. One is this pain in my leg still that I'm experiencing, right? It's an open loop. I've been putting off going to a doctor. I've been putting off this. I'm thinking about it all the time, right? What can I do to make it better? How do I get over this? How do I continue recovering? And then the other one is this move to Italy that I've dropped on the podcast. That is a goal of Nita's and mine, that within a year from now, this podcast is international because I'm actually recording it from Italy in that sense. That's an open loop though, because there's so many things I have to do to earn the visa correctly. So that loop is just staying open. Yet, Bob, here's the difference. I'm completely aware that those loops are there and open, that they're not creating the stress for me, because I understand I can push the loop aside because I have had the opportunity to understand how to work through this stuff that we're talking about today.
I love that.
One of my coaching clients just today said to me, Chad, I'm so overwhelmed and stressed. I feel anxious. And I was saying to this client, I said, Bob, everybody's anxious now. That's the word, right? The kids this generation are anxious. Everything is anxious. All they are is not making decisions, and they're leaving open loops, which is causing such high mental clutter and stress that they become anxious about everything. And I said to him, when you sit down and put everything on paper that's causing you anxiety right now, and then put them in an order of completion, whether that's here's the easiest to get out of the way, I'm going to get these things done, or whether that's this is the most important, let me truly go work on this, the anxiety will go away once you have clarity. And by the end of our coaching call, he said to me, I don't have the anxiety right now because I have the clarity of a plan to be able to move forward to get rid of all these things that I'm dealing with that are causing me anxiety because I don't know where to focus. Bob, mental clutter is one of the biggest destroyers of successful business because you're not finding the clarity that's in there.
My biggest, longest open loop was my finances for the longest time, Chad.
Yep.
Probably, if I'm being honest, for 15 years, it was an open loop, right?
Yep.
Like I'm talking, get out of college at 21 years old, have a job, make plenty of money in my 20s, never manage it at all, spend the first half of my 30s making even more and managing it even less. And it was just this open loop where I always knew, like, I make a bunch of money, I never have anything at the end of the year to show for it. I make a bunch of money. Sometimes in a given month, I've run out before the next amount of money comes in. Like, it was this open loop that continued to undermine me, set me up for bad decision-making, give me a ton of stress through those years when the reality is I was making more money than 95% of the United States. It wasn't until I finally took Ben's advice and started actually tracking my net worth, leaning into some of the concepts we talked about in the Wealth series, where I was like, I would say today, that's not an open loop for my wife and me and our family. Got a lot of clarity on where our money sits today, a lot of clarity on what the next steps of our investment plan is. So like that, but this was an open loop that ran in my brain for 15 years.
Yes. And congratulations, right? And I'll give the plug, winmakegive.com/wealth, right? You can get the workbook, go through the series, all that stuff Bob's talking about. What I want to bring up though is it's not completed. It doesn't mean the loop is completed. It means Bob has found clarity in the plan now of this amount of money goes into Robinhood, so it goes into the stock market, so it does this for part of my retirement plan. This amount of money is going to this, so when it gets to this level, we can buy the next vacation or rental property for our income plan. This amount of money is going into the kids' college funds, whatever it is. It's just clarity is now there, and clarity removes clutter. Doesn't mean there isn't a lot still going on in Bob's head. It just means he has clarity to it. So it doesn't take a lot of thinking to figure out, oh, he just got a check for $1,000. How does that break down? Because he has clarity that tells him it goes here, it goes here, it goes here.
Chad, and I think I've brought this up a few times here and there. Like, my wife has changed roles professionally a few times over our marriage. And that could be a lot of stress, right? There's a bunch of open loops when Aaron's like, I just got let go today, even though I was their top salesperson, because me and my manager don't get along at all. But like, having that clarity on what our finances look like made it real easy that day to be like, it's okay. We're going to be just fine, right? Like, because we had that clarity. We had that picture of, we knew how much we had in reserves. We knew how long we could withstand everything we're doing without, Aaron having any income coming in. And like, there's been a couple times, like when our second child was born, where we made a purposeful decision for her to take 9 months off of being, an earner in our household. And so, but these are things, because we had clarity, that would have, had we not, would have created a massive amount of mental clutter, Chad.
Yes. Okay, Bob, have you ever, and this is more to the audience, have you ever felt exhausted by doing nothing? Right? You've had one of those days where you did nothing and you feel exhausted. Let's explain that. And I'm going to get this guy's name way wrong. Okay?
I'm glad you're going to try it first, and you didn't throw it over to me to try it first.
Zegernick? Would you have guessed the same thing?
Yeah, Zegernick. Yeah, Zegernick.
Zegernick Effect, right? It's actually a term that explains why these open loops drain us. It was a Russian psychologist. Name is Bluma Zegernick. And I hope I'm close.
I think you're getting that, man. I think you're nailing that.
Okay, good. That humans actually remember unfinished tasks far better than you remember finished ones. So your brain holds those loops open, which burns energy, gives attention to it, takes patience from you. And some of the stuff that came from it in the original research was that people remembered double the unfinished tasks. If I sit down and said to you, Bob, what do you still have to do versus what have you done? You're going to tell me twice as many on average things you still have to do versus the things you've already gotten done. Okay. And the research shows that those loops increase anxiety and reduce your memory opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, think about all those things like throughout a given day, right? It's like, that email I still needed to reply to. It's those 4 text messages on my phone that I never got back to. It's the person that called me and I know I owe them a call back. It's like, yeah, those things, like by the way, and maybe I'm weird here, but I never go to sleep, Chad, or I rarely, I should say, go to sleep. And I'm like, that's all the things. Like, I did all the things. And I like lay in bed, tossing and turning about all the shit I got done. Like, we lay in bed thinking about that thing I didn't do, right? Or that closed loop that if I spent 15 years going to bed every night being like, man, I need to do something about my finances. It's just sucking mental energy.
Yes. And when you get that clarity, you'll be more like me. You put your head on the pillow and you're out in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can sit there and you can say, done, done, done. Here's what I still had to do. I've acknowledged the loop. Now go away. I'll deal with you tomorrow.
I love this quote from David Allen. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them.
Yes.
That's so good.
A good one that works right in there for us. So, Bob, let's give our audience a way to kind of Control-Alt-Delete your brain.
Okay.
Right? When you Control-Alt-Delete, it doesn't delete anything from the computer. It just clears the RAM, right? Resets things and says, I'm going to get rid of all those open little things that are flying around in here that are causing distractions so we have some clarity. Okay, so 1, grab somewhere to take notes. Piece of paper, your notes app on your phone. I don't care where you're going to do it. Just not in your head. That's the point of this. Okay. 2, write down everything. Bob, write down your tasks. Write down the conversations you're avoiding. Write down decisions you have not made yet. Write down names, ideas, reminders that you're like, oh yeah, I have to remember to do this on that day, 3 days from now, whatever it is. Write down emotions you haven't even processed. Write them all down. Everything that's floating around up there, dump it onto paper. I told you, this is what I had one of my coaching clients do because I was doing the research on this. And I was like, hey, I've taught stuff like this before. I didn't know there was actually a name and a term to doing all of this. But write it all down. Don't organize this, Bob. Dump it. Don't worry about the order it comes out. Okay. You with me so far? You literally putting everything on paper, not just verbalizing it. Okay. Then say what really matters. Now ask yourself what really matters. Circle the top 3 things that really matter and take an action.
Well, so when you say matter, it's like, is it like, we're talking about mental clarity here. So I would assume it is, things that are like
make you anxious.
Okay. Anxiety that create anxiety. Okay.
The things that are creating that anxiety and making you go, oh my God, I don't want to have that conversation with Nita later today about whatever. Okay. That's the thing. I'm anxious because I'm avoiding that conversation. I don't know what we're going to do for dinner tonight. We don't have a plan and it's almost dinner time. All right. Okay. That's making me anxious, figuring it out because we didn't make a decision about it. Whatever those things are, Bob, find the 3 things that are making you most anxious. Go take 1 step towards it. That's it. Don't overwhelm it. Now, if some of those things that are on your list are things I have to remember to do, Bob, right now I'm going to put you on the spot. What's something you have to remember to do, not today? Like it's a tomorrow or next week thing or something. What comes to mind that you're like, oh, I know I have to blank?
I mean, like how simple do you want me to get here? Like I
don't care.
I have to take the garbage cans out every Sunday night. And sometimes when I forget, it's really shitty because I got a full ass thing of garbage the next week that I got to take out. So garbage cans out on Sunday night, Chad.
Okay, perfect. Get it out of your head. So it's not an open loop that's always there. I know you're an iPhone user.
It's out of my head, by the way. I brought that one up because I actually have a reminder in my calendar for Sunday nights at 7:00. 1 week it says garbage only, and the next week it says garbage and recycling because our recycling comes every other week. And that is a loop that, by the way, for 5 years I lived here, that was an open loop that I was like, oh shit, I forgot to go. I'd hear it come on Monday morning, beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, oh crap. I'd run downstairs and outside and try to get the cans out. Right. And so eventually I'm like, this is so stupid. My wife actually, I didn't say it. I'm lying, Chad. I didn't say, what am I doing? Why are you being a moron for 5 years? My wife is like, you idiot, put it in your calendar for Sunday night at 7:00.
That's it. Right? Yeah. I don't know how many times I will open my phone and I mean, I'll do it verbally more than just anything like, okay, when Thanksgiving is coming, I put a reminder that said on Sunday, thaw turkey.
My wife is a master of this. Yeah. Right? She's constantly talking to her phone.
I don't have to remember. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to stress about, oh my God, I'm going to forget to take the turkey out when it's supposed to come. No, my phone's going to pop up and it's going to be there and say, take out turkey. Okay. Right? Little things like that. What do I need to do? These things are easy out of your head. Yet when you create this list, find the 3 things bringing you the most anxiety and go take 1 small action on at least one of them. Okay? Because you're going to find that doing the Control-Alt-Delete, getting it all out of your head, is going to clear that clutter to start giving you some clarity.
So here's one little addition to that, and that I would maybe just kind of the next step is on those 3 things are like, if in 6 months, it's going to be a similar thing, I would say you need to figure out some kind of a model. Could be as easy as the reminder in my phone every Sunday night at 7 p.m. to do the thing. You got to find some kind of a model or some kind of a like recurring way to deal with that thing, Chad. Because a lot of those things that cause us stress, we're not going to get them done today. And if we do a couple things towards it, they'll be back next month or next quarter or next year or whatever. And so like, what is that? To me, like as I try to create mental clarity, it's for me, it's about models, like what and simple things like reminder on my phone or, you know, writing it up
on the first of the month. So it always triggers, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's how I got better on my finances is I gave myself a day every month where I pay all my bills and do all my stuff. And for a long time that was on my calendar and it was Saturday, the last Saturday of the month. And you know, I get ready for next month.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Think about the model systems that work for you. We signed up for a service. We wanted to watch a cycling race and we wanted to see, and it was only offered on this one service that I had to download. And it was an annual subscription. So Nita looked at me and said, well, we really want to see it. It's worth it. Sign up. She said, let's see how much we use this service over the year. And when the cycle season came to an end, we were looking at each other one day and we were like, did we use the service any day other than that one race? Like, should we have just paid a little more per month and bought just the 1 month because it still would have been less? And she said, yeah, we didn't use it at all. There's a reminder in my phone. The day I signed up, I put a reminder in my phone for 11 and a half months after that to remind me to cancel it so that I wouldn't forget to. So it's not an open loop in my head. I don't know when it's due. I know my phone's going to pop up and say, cancel that service or keep it, but at least we would have made the decision. Bob, we all leave too many loops open. Here's what comes when you close a loop. 1, the loops steal your energy. They steal your clarity. So when you close them, there's actually a
relief
moment, right? There's that relief that comes. Small wins are how momentum is created. Momentum is not created big. You don't have one big thing and it creates momentum. You have one big thing and maybe it's a huge celebration, yet that didn't mean momentum came. Small wins again and again and again start to become momentum, which continues. And the goal is not to finish every loop you have open. It's just to reclaim some of that mental space that's out there.
Yeah. Here's a couple ways you can close some loops instantly today, right? Send that text or make that phone call you've been avoiding, Chad.
Yep.
I guarantee if all of us wrote down all the things out of our brain with the dump, somewhere on there is a confrontation we don't want to have or the finishing of a conversation we need to do. The second one, this is for me, 100%.
Yes,
I think I can close 10 loops right now, right? Cancel a project you're honestly never going to do. Just let them know, sorry, it's not happening. And sometimes that takes, you got to apologize. You got to show up with your hat in hand a little bit. And you're like, I know I told you I was going to do this thing, but it's not happening. It's not a priority for me today. And I didn't want to keep making you think it was a priority of mine. It's not. Chad, this one's for you then. You gave me one. I'm giving you one. Set the appointment, Chad. You got that back's hurting. And I know you have one tomorrow, I think, with the chiropractor. So you did it. You're like, I'm closing this loop. I set the appointment. It's something you don't have to think about. Every time the back comes up, you're like, it's okay. I got that appointment. We're going to get it figured out. Yeah. And then put it in your phone. Yeah. Put it on your calendar, whatever you want to call it. In your phone, on your calendar. Like that thing you need to do in the future that's been eating up a little bit of mental energy every day because you don't want to forget it on Friday. Make sure it's in your phone, you guys.
Bob, this quote is fantastic, right? The quote's from Anne Lamott, and it's almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you.
Love that.
How many times you sit on hold for 30 minutes to get customer service for some product, and the first thing they tell you is unplug it. Wait 30 seconds, plug it back in. You're like, I've done that 10 times while I've been on hold, right? It's always the first solution. Clearing the RAM, however that works. Unplugging it, Control-Alt-Deleting. It's going to work on you too. All right, Bob. Practical tools so people can keep the mental clutter away and have mental clarity. 1, they should do a RAM dump every week. Take that exercise.
Take the piece of paper out, dump everything on there, grab the top 3, figure out one step you can take towards that top 3.
There you go. Every week you should do a RAM dump. 2, you should have an end of day shutdown ritual. A way you shut your brain off from work, the kids.
We have a great episode on this where Ben talks about his daily plan and kind of setting that up the night before. And this is exactly that, Chad. It's getting all those things that I'm going to lay in bed tonight and toss and turn about because I know I got them on my, in my future. I'm gonna have that plan the night before about how I'm going to attack those things the next day. It's going to give me some mental clarity to be Chad and eyes shut. 45 seconds later, I'm asleep.
There you go. This is one that Ben also has taught us for a long time, and that's eliminate one commitment you have coming up next week. All right? Just close that loop now and say, I'm canceling that appointment with such and such next week.
I'm not going to be capable of giving you that time or doing that thing. I'm sorry.
Right. Something came up, right? Whatever it is, we'll have to reschedule.
By the way, little note to everybody out there. For years, I thought every time I was going to cancel something, I had to give them the exact reason why. And at some point I realized they're not my friggin' mom. Like, I don't need to tell them why I can't make it. I'm sorry. Maybe we can reschedule it, but I can't make it. And today I'm much better, Chad, at just being like, I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that thing.
There you go. Good. Right. Time blocking for thinking, not just activities. I always tell people this is one that Ben and I do disagree on. We've had episodes on this. He says you got to leave a lot of white space for thinking on your calendar. No, I say you should schedule when that time is going to happen. And Bob, we just interviewed the bodyguard gentleman whose name's escaping my head, who said from the wealthiest people in the world, one of the things he learned is you've got to put that white space on your calendar so people give it to you and you're protecting it as time. Of course, phone-free mornings or phone-free evenings, because it is creating so much of that mental clutter for us. And Bob, the 2-minute rule, which is?
If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now, which, by the way, in my world, I have a virtual professional that probably 50% of the 2-minute rule things that happen in my life, glad he does for me. So just, that's a little bit of leverage. It's super affordable leverage. This is not a plug for our VA company, although we do have one. Sorry, Chad. I know you hate it when I give plugs on here, but
okay, plug away.
In my world, this has been a dramatic transformation in the last 10 years in terms of me doing the things that I know I could get done in 2 minutes, but I'm like, I don't even have 2 minutes. But man, most of the time, if it takes less than 2 minutes, we could probably just bang it out right now.
Absolutely. When it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. Get the loop closed. Don't leave it open, because then it'll become 20 minutes of wasted mental space instead of the 2 that would have gotten it done. Bob, here's what I want everyone to do. I want them to do the RAM dump. Take 5 minutes and do the RAM dump exercise today, tomorrow, as soon as you're hearing this and have the opportunity, and just see how it feels to go, I got it all out of my head. It's on paper. I can see what truly matters and what I need to do.
Or their alternative is marry my wife. She does a RAM dump every single night. She lets me know what I need to get done tomorrow so that all her loops get closed. It's actually been life-changing. So
we need to create an AI based on your wife that can help us all do the RAM dump every single night. Folks, we want you to have clarity, not clutter, because clarity is what brings you to the vision you have, because you can see how to truly get there. And that's what we'll keep covering on Win, Make, Give. Bob, I don't know if this is the last episode of the year. It's coming soon, though.
It is. It is.
I don't know.
We should put a pin on that. We should make a last episode of the year. Let's do that. Let's make sure we make one so this isn't the last one, Chad, and that we get one to Dave where we're like, Dave, this is the one that goes out on December 28th or whatever that date is. But this will be my last opportunity. Actually, no, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no, I won't. I won't see you again this week. So happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of our audience members, even though it already happened, right? Take this as Bob and I are bad. It's a belated Thanksgiving wish. We are thankful for each and every one of you as our audience. We are thankful for the relationships we've developed with you. We're thankful for the questions, comments, suggestions you send in. Make sure you share the episode with others so we can continue to grow and bring you Win, Make, Give. Until our next episode, as always, do good.